This is Pod Populi, podcast for the people.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Femme Force podcast. My name is Rachel Paskman, and I am your host. And today I am so excited because I am joined by Monica Curtis, who's a speaker, a mentor, and founder of BADE, Be Anything, Do Everything, which is a movement helping women reclaim their identity and stepping into their full potential. She's going to be talking to us today about her personal journey of losing herself in different roles she's gone through in her life, feeling guilty for wanting more, and ultimately awakening her own power. We are so excited to have her on the podcast today. Thank you so much for being here, Monica.
Oh my gosh, Rachel, thank you so much. I love meeting like-minded women. So when you and I connected, it's a thrill. I'm happy to be here.
I know I love this is my favorite part of the podcast is like making new friends and making new connections that are just phenomenal. And you're doing such phenomenal work. So tell the audience just a little bit about who you are and your background, and we're going to dive right in.
Okay. So hi, everyone. Yes, as Rachel mentioned, my name is Monica Curtis, but my friends call me Mick and MIC, even though it's pronounced, it's the reason I go by Mick, Rachel, and I don't know if I told you this, is because through this whole idea of finding myself, I discovered that I'm many things. And for so long, I played roles, right? Like mom as a child, mom, daughter, whatever the role is. And I realized I'm actually a lot of things, and I didn't give myself credit or the space to be all those things at the same time. And now I am. So my new stage name is Mick because it incorporates all of me. Monica, Inestrosa, Curtis, my maiden name, my married name, my childhood name, all of it. Because as women, we are more than just one thing. And it took me a long time to get here. I'm 51 now, but now that I'm here realizing, hey, there's a lot of parts of me and I can't just show up as one label. I want to be all of it. And maybe that's selfish, but this is how I'm showing up in the world now.
No, 1,000%. And I mean, we're going to dive into that, but it's not selfish, I think, at all. I think it's just a realization because you've been giving and giving and giving. And finally, you're like, I'm going to give to myself. So giving to yourself shouldn't be considered selfish at all.
You got it, Rachel. So when I started on this journey, so to tell your audience what it is that I do, I empower women to be anything and do everything. And I know when I say that, I can already hear your listeners going, whoa, that feels like a lot. I don't know that I want all that responsibility. And it's really not about doing it all. It's doing the things that you desire. It's really connecting with yourself again and asking a very simple question and answering it. What is it that I want? What is it that I desire? And leaning into that to find your purpose, your meaning, your calling, if you will, to honor your magic in this world. And by discovering going through my own messy is how I built this business of encouraging women, of supporting women, of holding a mirror up to women to say, hey, do you see what I see? Because if you saw what I see, you would never have an ounce of self-doubt. And as women, we need that reminder. We've been so busy. I always say this. We've been so busy being the glue, holding it all together for all right? We forgot we're the freaking glitter too, girl.
1,000%. And we should be making our own collage of our life at this point.
Yes. Yes.
So when we were in our prep talks, you talked about feeling like a sleeping beauty, as if you had to wake up to your own life. Can you share what that moment looked like for you? Because it sounds so profound.
Yeah. So, again, so much of what I write, what I speak, what I talk, my whole business really stems from my own life, and I speak about my life. Right. And, a few years ago, 5 years ago, this is not the person who would show up. The person who was Mick 5 years ago, you would have found her very polite, very, in many sense, playing a gratitude. Oh, I'm so grateful. I can't possibly want more or be more. Yeah. And yet silently, outwardly you would have said, wow, she checks all the boxes. She's got the kids, the house, the husband. And I did. And I still do, by the way. But inside, I was slowly dying. And when I mean dying, it's just, I lost myself. I didn't even recognize myself anymore. And through a series of events in my personal life, I realized that I was sleepwalking through life. I was in it. I was going through the motions. I was very busy doing lots of things.
Yep.
I was not showing up as me. I was making sure everyone else around me played big. And slowly but surely, I dimmed my light. And these choices that I made, looking back, they were innocent choices, right? And as women, this happens to us. Rachel, this just happens. We get married. We choose this. We choose our kids. We choose our husband, our spouse, our partner. You start making choices, our parents. You start choosing other people, and you start choosing for their comfort, for their needs, for their wants. And slowly but surely, as women, we begin to fade into the background. And of course, that sounds like, well, that's of course what we do. That's the beautiful thing to do. That's the right thing to do as mothers, as spouses. But is it really? Because every time you say yes to them, you're saying no to yourself. A little part of you says no to you. And slowly that crawls away and takes away your full identity. And you no longer recognize yourself. So to answer your question, for me, it was that moment of realizing, oh my gosh, I have been sleepwalking through life. I can tell you exactly what my kids are dreaming about, what my spouse is aspiring for, what my mom needs, but I could not tell you what I wanted, what I needed. And three things happened almost sequence. One of them was when my nephew passed away. Age 21, lost his battle with addiction. Horrible. I don't wish addiction on any family. And sitting at his funeral, I remember listening to this eulogy of people just saying beautiful things about him, right? Because that's what we do at a funeral. And I was thinking to myself, why do we wait till we're brought to our knees to say the things that live in our hearts? And most importantly, this life we live, it's not guaranteed. It's a privilege. We get to do this thing called life. And what the heck am I doing wasting my life, not living my most self, my biggest self? So that was like a real aha moment, right? And it takes a funeral, usually takes something really hurtful to make you realize, to shake you, be like, what are you doing? And then another thing that happened is my son around that time was also applying to college, and he was applying to university, and I was so excited. And I was speaking all the things that mamas speak into their children. You can be anything. You can do everything. The canvas is white. Choose your colors. We speak so much into our children. And I remember walking away, Rachel, going, well, what the heck? When did I stop believing that about myself? When did I stop dreaming about myself? And all these things started happening. And I realized, oh my gosh, I'm dying inside. I'm dying. So that was the beginning for me.
Oh, and I feel like society makes you want to shrink into the role. So like you have all these other things, but it's like, nope, the mom is your role. Wife is your role. Like these are the things that like you should be focused on. And like once you become them, that's all that you ever are. Your name changes to mom. Your name might change to Mrs. Smith. But like when we forget, there's so much more about ourselves.
And I think now that I look back, that I've had some time to really reflect and grow into this, knowing so much of becoming me, is because I subscribed to something that was very innocent. I subscribed to an or. My kids or Monica.
Yep.
His career or mine. This or that. And I always chose the other because I thought it was or. I got it wrong, Rachel. And I'm hoping that I can help women, educate women and say, no, it's not or, it's and. You can be an amazing mom and still want for yourself. You can be a supportive wife and Go build something on your own. You can have both. Now, will all be perfect at the same time? No, I'm not going to paint this utopia, the balancing, and it requires a lot. And whenever you give to something, you're taking away from something else. That's just easy math. But in this world where we're constantly choosing for others, I am asking women to choose her too. Choose you too, because you matter. And the way you show up in this world actually has much more impact on your ecosystem than you playing small and getting quiet and fading into the background.
No, 1,000%. And I feel like, especially with women, when we finally choose to like put ourselves first or, really make ourselves the priority over other people, it's the guilt that comes along with it. We have all of this guilt for being ungrateful or feeling selfish. And I'm single over here, but I feel like even with a supportive spouse, like that guilt isn't going to go away. So how do women prioritize themselves? How do you shift your mindset around that?
It's the belief that in order to show up and be for others, you've got to show up for self. Because what happens is, if not, you show up resentful. You show up with a mental scoreboard of who got what and who didn't. And slowly those things build to anger, to unbecoming, someone you're not, someone you don't like, someone who then dims other people's lights, because guess what? Then you see your friend deciding to glow up and you're like, who does she think she is? Like, so you become this version of yourself that you aren't meant to, because you're just protecting yourself and you are almost shame of dimming your light so much that you forget you almost have to dim other people's lights. So what I say is the guilt doesn't go away.
Yeah.
So it's a quick answer. It doesn't go away ever. It's never enough, guys. I get it. To this day, it's never enough. I'm constantly like, am I doing enough for everyone? But you better believe it that at the end of the day, when I look in the mirror, I make sure I make time for me. And that is not non-negotiable. So the guilt is just make room for guilt to stay. It's like a gremlin. I always tell women, like, that imposter syndrome or whatever you're dealing with internally, that gremlin, including guilt, never goes away. Make room for it to stay, give it a name, realize like, hey, when guilt comes up, it's like, oh, this is me just trying to be for everyone and do for everyone. Right now, I can't do that. Right now, I need to build myself up for whatever, whether it be an hour to work out, an hour to read a book, or an hour to, I'm going to go have dinner with my girlfriends, whatever that is, take that time, because you show up for everyone else so much better and stronger, period.
Do you feel like that's the beginning step, like taking 1 hour, just like the small first step that women need to make to try to reclaim their identity? Take an hour back a week or a month or what it might be?
I say daily, and it takes, and if I would have listened to my own words here, to take 10 minutes, and I know journaling gets a bad rap, like, oh, I'm going to journal my feelings, but here's why I love journaling. First of all, it becomes a rhythm, and it becomes very easy to do because you can always carve out 10 minutes, even if you're at the carpool line waiting for your kid to get picked up, right? By the way, let's be honest, a lot of these moms, even young moms, we're sitting on some field waiting for someone to come out, right?
To do something. Okay.
To do something. This happens. So we can always carve out 10 minutes, even if you get up earlier. And why I love journaling, Rachel, is because most of us are scared of our own words. And most of us do not have the confidence yet to say what it is that you want out loud, because what you want maybe actually go against everything that you're doing. So saying it aloud becomes really real. So why I believe in journaling in the beginning is because there's no one else. It's just for your eyes only. And that's the first step to releasing what I say is this, our throat chakras are usually closed up. So this way, it's just a way to release. And once you start journaling, clarity just starts settling in, and you start realizing, okay. And you start picking up on themes. And this is why I encourage women always and forever, start journaling, start writing it down.
I mean, it's just this tiny steps, but we don't even realize like these tiny steps are going to help us really break free into, being anything or doing everything.
Yeah, yeah. And it's the writing, it's then spending time with self, meaning going for a walk. Um, and I always tell in the beginning, I don't make a lot of big announcements. Like, I don't encourage women to be like, I'm going to start a new career, or I'm going to start a podcast, or I'm going to not yet, right? Or I'm going to lose weight, or I'm going to leave my marriage. Like at the beginning, you've got to get so comfortable with your voice, with yourself, that you believe it. And if you believe it, then the rest of the world can know. Because guess what? Once you tell the rest of the world, then you're going to get naysayers. You're going to get people look at you strange. You're going to get some people who are going to be very excited. Some people are not. And you cannot be deterred by that. And sometimes any growth, any new change, any new beginning is very lonely. And so I always tell women, hey, get comfortable with self. Be comfortable with whatever the thing you're trying to do on your own. Because in the beginning, it is very lonely.
No, I mean, and it has to be. And I feel like when you're having that transformative journey, like you definitely, want to know that there are other women around and that there are women that are in the same place as you and feeling that camaraderie in a way. And I mean, that's where BADE came from. So tell the audience like about BADE, like where this idea came from. What is it? I mean, we talked about what it stands for, but how you really were like, I'm going to create this and make this into a community.
Oh, so really easy. The idea was when I was starting, the way I spoke to my kids. It's the way I spoke to everyone around me, is the way I spoke to when my best friend sat with me in front of coffee, talking to me about an idea of writing a book, or the gal I met at the grocery store who was trying to tell me how to put some ingredients together because she always wished she could be a chef and create something. It's the idea of like, when I see other people telling me these ideas, I'm like, of course you can. You can do that. Why can't you do that? It's so easy for us to see it on everybody else, right? Rachel, I mean, you see it all the time. You're like, you got this, girl, right?
You're doing amazing. Yeah. I'm like, that's phenomenal. Good for you. Like, these are like, go girls. But then, you have it's the imposter syndrome. I really think no matter how old you get, no matter how capital P professional you are, accomplished degrees, it doesn't matter. It sits so deep and is so ingrained in us as women where like you question yourself. I mean, I do it all the time. And then I have to be like, I'm like, why am I like, you can do this. You can do this. You've done all these other things. You can do this.
Yes. And it's really just pointing out those frameworks for women. So BADE was built on this idea of like, okay, so what steps do I need to take? So how do I do it? Right? Because most of them are like, okay, I get what you're saying. Yes, you're right. We can be anything and do everything we desire. Generally speaking, if I want to lose weight, if I want to start that, I can do it. Right. But how do I do it? So it's creating a framework around that. And a lot of it is the first step is those beliefs, those limiting beliefs. It's calling, excuse my language, the B stands for bullshit in my framework. Like you got to call it out. And the biggest one, you just mentioned it, is what I call selfie issues. We all have one: imposter syndrome, lack of confidence, self-doubt, whatever your selfie issue is, go deal with it. And the way I encourage women to deal with it is, okay, I can tell you that you're being silly. I can try to tell you that's not rational, or intellectually, that makes no sense. Stop thinking that. It doesn't work that way. To your point, it's always there. Even though intellectually, that's silly, emotionally, it grabs onto you. So I say, make room for her to stay. I love that. Give her a name. Give your imposter syndrome name, and then realize, why is she showing up, Rachel, in your life? Why does this imposter syndrome show up?
I really think it's just so deeply ingrained where I have to have the self-doubt that like these things I couldn't have possibly earned whatever I'm trying to achieve next or trying to get next. Like there's no way that like there's not that I'm the best person in the room for it, which is sad because 90% of the time I am the best person in the room for it. But it's just like this soft voice in the back of our heads. And then when you talk to other women, or if I talk to other, just girlfriends in general, where I'm like, yeah, but you can do that. Like you can tell they're like, well, no, you could do that. I'm like, no, if I can do it, anybody can do it. We can all do it. Like it's
Yeah.
just about like getting started and going and like getting it done. And I think it's like that beginning process too. Like the right off the gate. How do you get people to like just believe and go?
What if I told you, Rachel, though, that gremlin in your head, she's just trying to protect you because she is putting doubt in your head because she's trying to protect you. Because if you don't go and do that scary thing, you can't get hurt. You can't put yourself out there. You can't fail. You can't even succeed, but you're definitely not going to fail because you're not trying. So that imposter syndrome, that's the inner child in us protecting us, just like fear. How fear implements in our head is just to keep us from getting hurt. So you say to that little girl, that imposter syndrome, give her a name, whatever your nickname was as a child, Rachel. I don't know what they used to call you as a baby girl. Be like, girl, I hear you. I got you. We're going to do it anyway. I'm going to take your hand and we're going to do that thing anyway, because that is the only way you move forward. Otherwise, she'll take a grip on you, but she's trying to protect you. So when you make her your friend and not your enemy, it gets easier because then you understand. So it's not really you doubting yourself. It's you trying to protect yourself. Think about it. If I want to date someone and let's say, newly divorced and I've got to put myself out on one of those apps. Well, easier if I don't, right? Because then I won't get rejected. Well, what if no one likes you? What if no one swipes? So I better just not do it. It's really not for me. So we're constantly talking ourselves out of whatever that is to protect ourselves. That's it. Once you figure that out, you're like, oh, okay, I got this. Moving on.
No, 1,000%. And I think that your point of like making her a friend and realizing like the protection part of it, I think it's such a good way to spin it in your mind to be like, it doesn't have to be negative. Mm-hmm. Not everything has to be negative. This could be like a positive thing and like just working through it and understanding how you work through it.
That's exactly right. And everything in all my teachings, in all my workshop, in everything I talk about is how do you take something, you flip it. It's just flip. We are so accustomed to that lens. We all have a lens and we all looking through our camera and we're so good at just looking at what's in front of us. And I'm trying to tell everyone, no, actually, I need you to switch the lens now because the lens has got a lot brighter and you can see a lot more. You can zoom in and you can zoom out. And there's better product out there. We all just need a little software upgrade. That's it. We're just still running. Some of us are still running on the flip phone. And once we realize, oh, there are iPhones and there's cameras and there's this, you're like, oh, possibilities open up. But if you don't know, you don't know. So we're just here to sort of see, right? It's sometimes that's easy. It's that simple.
I mean, and you said that you through your workshops, I mean, and you have this community and you've created this really powerful community of women. And how has surrounding yourself with like ambitious, like-minded women changed your own journey by doing this?
100%. Okay. So I love this particular story or sharing this little truths is in the beginning when I decided to be different, if you will, to show up differently. Mm-hmm. The people I thought that would be there and be supportive aren't always there because those people okay, so then you get like a little bit like wounded, a little licking your wound. Like, why are more women supporting me? So I'm going to speak specifically about women. Why are more women supporting me? Like my mission, this sounds so amazing. This is such a great idea. Well, a lot of the people that are in your life now, they're with you because they like that version of you. So if you show up differently, they're not all going to support you. And you have to be okay with that. And I'll tell you what, when you're building things or creating things or personal development, whatever your it thing is, why I always say it's lonely, why I say you have to get comfortable with yourself is because there will become a time where you're going to look around and you'll be like, oh man, I'm on my own now. What happened to all my people? They're not there. But what happens is in growth, you're opening up space for new because you're growing, your needs are changing. And so this is why you need to clear out the table. What I say is like, you got to pull off your train every year. And some people just have to get off the train. But guess what? Those seats that you're opening up in the train, the new people will jump in. And those new people, they're the like-minded. They are the ones you gravitate towards because they're meeting you where you are at now with your new wants, needs, desires, whatever that is. So for example, if you are, let's say you want to lose 30 pounds, it's just throwing out there because women are always battling with some sort of weight, right? That's in our thing. Well, for you to lose 30 pounds, you're going to have to change a lot. You're going to have to change your eating. You're going to have to change your workouts. You're going to have to change your decisions you make. You might not be able to go to the bar and do a happy hour and eat the fried food and drink the bottle of wine that you usually do with your friends on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever the nights you go and do that. And right, because that goes against the new version of you who's healthier, who's trying to make better choices. Well, there you go. There's a disconnect. You're not longer going to be hanging out with those people all the time for those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And you might want to say, hey, you want to go for a walk with me? And they'll be like, we don't want to go for a walk. I'll meet you at the bar. And I'm like, no, I don't. You're changing. They're not changing. You're changing. So your environment changes and you have to be okay with that because your desire for whatever it is that you want to change has to be greater than all the excuses, than all the naysayers, than all the people trying to hold you back. And that is the hardest thing. And that's usually where women get not stuck, but quit because that part is hard. That part is lonely. But I promise you, if you get over that hump, if you're okay with the loneliness, this is why I say go back to writing. Remember who you are, what you believe in, what you want. If you're really clear on that, you can get through those peaks and valleys. And on the other side, you are going to find your tribe. And that's where I am today. I am with like-minded women like you who are believing in a bigger vision, who want more, who want to help other women, who believe in collaboration, who believe in sisterhood, who believe in all these things that seem so far-fetched. But guess what, Rachel, you and I aren't competing. Yeah. We are going to be like, how can we light it up for each other? That's a whole different mindset.
No, it's a whole different way of thinking. And I think once you realize like women are here for support or women are here like to be your teammates or to help you, or you can't be everything. We can't be everything like we've said, and you can't do everything. So having really supportive women around you, I think is such a clutch thing. But it's also the one thing that my mother always said to me as a child that I will take with me is you show me who your friends are, I'll show you who you are. It's a representation of what you, not just what others think of yourself, but what you think of yourself by surrounding people like that around you.
Yeah. And you have to, I really believe that I want the people that I surround myself, I want them, it's just a reflection of who I want to be. Right. And who I admire and the value. And hey, we got to be very careful here because not to say that, because we're growing or we decided to go on this personal development or whatever transformation you're in, that you become better than others. That I'm very careful about that, right? Because that's not true. It's not the people you're leaving behind or that they left you behind. Let's just be clear. You're the one changing. So you made decisions, and which I applaud, and I'm here for it as women. Like, hey, look in, do you for sure. But we've got to save the judgment and we got to be careful not to be like, you got to let them off the hook too, because they're just being them and they'll figure it out on their own way. And everyone has their own timing on things.
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, what's one piece of advice you give to women or give to a woman who feels like she's too far gone to start over?
Yeah, it's never freaking too late. Because here's the thing. There's never been a time where the possibilities are absolutely endless. And I say this with love because I know he's controversial, but in a world where Elon Musk is going to colonize Mars and probably will, like the possibility, like we are driving electric cars. We are communicating millions of people with one phone.
Oh, literally a computer. Everything we know at the touch of our fingers. Same.
You are now a producer of your own show. You did not need an advertiser. You don't need a big network. You don't need a big media company. You decided you wanted to do this, and here you are. Never has there ever been a time. If you want to publish a book, go to Amazon. You don't need a publishing house. If you want to write, you've got AI to help you write and write copy and, design websites and create logos for you. There's never been a time more exciting time to start something new and be something. So to the women who feel like, oh no, it's too late to me, hells to the no. Okay. I think of all the women who, Tina Turner, she's like amazing, right? And she's gone, God bless her. But do you know that like her story always gets to me? Because she hit it off big when she was young because of her husband, whatever, they were in a bad deal. And then she went away because he was abusive and she just went away and she started cleaning houses. This is Tina Turner. And in her 50s, she connected again with a producer and became the Tina Turner that most of us remember, right? With her crazy fun hair, doing her thing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, she was in her 50s. It is never too late to reinvent ourselves. We are just getting started. And let me ask you this, as women, what better time than carrying our life experiences? Whoever's listening to me, your life experience makes you uniquely qualified to do whatever it is, the thing that you want to do. That's it.
1,000%. Vera Wang started designing wedding dresses in her late 40s. It's Vera Wang. She's a household name.
She's a household name. I'm in my 50s. I am not this was all the things that I'm doing. It wasn't because someone handed me a check or opened a door for me. We all have the ability. You just have to believe. And that is the only difference. I promise you, that is the only difference between the people that you look out there and admire, is that they actually took action. And that's the thing, Rachel, it's all about action. But without action, whatever it is, if you want to lose the 5 pounds, you've got to take a step. If you want to write a book, you've got to write a word. If you want to publish a podcast, you've got to hit start on the recording. In the simplest forms, that really is how it starts. Is it going to be perfect the first time? Probably not. Is it going to be 1 million downloads the first episode?
Probably
not likely. But you start and you get better and you get even better. And sometimes you decide, okay, I no longer want to do this. I'm going to go over here. And that's how it begins. That's how life is. That's how we do it.
No, 1,000%. And I think that that's the mindset shift that you really have to take. Destiny doesn't just happen. Like things don't magically, if you can manifest all you want, but you do have to work towards something. Like things don't just fall in your lap. There is effort that has to come along with that. And there's work and there's determination and there's education that you have to teach yourself these skills. They don't just pop up one day.
No,
you
and
have
I think
to put in the work.
My biggest advice to women specifically is forget the age, forget too late. No, that erase that immediately. How quickly can you start? Because that is it. How quickly can you take an idea and hit start? Because we spend way too much time planning, thinking, over analyzing over this. No, you want to know success? You start and you try, you fail fast, meaning if you have an idea, go try it. There's never been a better time to go try it and get feedback immediately. And I'm not talking from your bestie, actually go get feedback by doing whatever it is the thing you want to do. And the market will tell you really quickly if you're onto something. The worst thing we can do is plan and over analyze. I just listened to a great podcast by one of the co-founders of Netflix, and he just came out with a book and said something about every idea is stupid. Every business, that's not going to work. I think it's the name of the book. That's not going to work because every idea in business, a lot of the ideas are dumb. They're going to fail. We don't hear those. We only hear about the ones that have succeeded, but most businesses are out there trying things all the time. The point is not spending a year in your office coming up with this great business plan to implement only to go to market a year down the line and realize, oh, there was never a business to have. Yeah. Have an idea, go try it. For example, I started journaling and then I said, you know what? I'm going to put these out into the universe. So I started blogging and I started publicly. And that's when I learned like, people resonate with my writing. So was feedback, immediate feedback. Now, if I had blogged and realized, I'm not getting any love here, no one's really getting any feels out of it, like maybe I'll go a different direction. I didn't wait for the perfect website, for the perfect grammar, for the perfect anything. Get it out quickly, fail forward, fail fast, and move on. Tweak it. That's the best thing. For me, the sitting around talking about it will hurt you deeply in your business.
No, I totally believe that. Like you have to get up and just put the work in. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the things that can happen when you do that and like when you wake up and beginning again, so you don't feel lost. Like feeling lost doesn't mean you're stuck. You can always wake up and begin again. And you can do all of that and take your own power fully into yourself. You just have to take the power.
Yeah. And we're never really stuck. We just think we are, but we're not. We're just misdirected.
Yeah, 1,000%. We are totally always. And social media has such a way to play on that too. And like wanting to be like everyone else or seeing these perfect lives, behind these profiles. And it's like, that's not what's happening.
No, it is social media. As much as I love the idea that at a fingerprint, at our finger, literally we can have access and be able to communicate and market and really sell ourselves and promote our business, whatever that is. I love it. I also think it's such an illusion and people get so caught up. Like, do not get caught up on comparison lane of what she's doing, he's doing, because I'm telling you, it's a lot of BS. And the followers, the this, that, like I would say, who needs followers? I don't need followers. I need doers. Like I want women. I want to surround myself with women who are actually doing. I'd rather you and I be our only people in our network, for example. If we're the ones doing, awesome. That's better. That's a better party. Right. That's more happening there than a bunch of followers. And what? What is that?
No, 1,000%.
It means nothing.
No, none of this will mean anything. Like you've got to try. Like you've got to try. You've got to like put yourself out there. It's just it's a lot of work, guys. Like it's not just sitting around.
It's not sitting around, but also just to believe that we all have a purpose. We all have a magic. We're all here for something. And for some of you listening, you may be very well fulfilled in a life of being a stay-at-home mom, for example, which is a beautiful thing to do, or, working for someone else. And maybe you are, and that's wonderful. And I think what you and I are both saying is just check in with self, make sure whatever it is, the thing you're doing it for you. Like there's in the scheme and the map of things of your life, there's a good like anchor, like compass for yourself. If that's in the whole thing of your life, awesome. Keep on. But if you're not in that equation, oh girl, you got to stop. You got to figure out how to get yourself back into that equation. And I'm not telling you to leave your life. I'm saying you can elevate your life by simply putting yourself back in the game. You stop being, you don't belong on the sidelines. You don't belong on the, audience. You belong center stage. This is your life. Your one life, I remind you. You get to do this thing called life. You've got to start showing up.
Yeah.
And make room for the people you love and be a mom and be a partner and a great daughter and all those things, of course. But it's so important to make sure we are part of the equation.
Yeah, 1,000%. And I mean, I think that's such an amazing piece of advice that we're going to wrap on. I have one last question that I like to ask all of my guests. But if you could give one piece of advice to your 16-year-old self, what would that be?
I would be kinder to myself. I wanted to tell her that it's not your job to be the adult in the room and that people will hurt you. And the grown-ups that are supposed to be the ones that take care of you don't always take care of you. And all these things that have been told, that labels people are putting on you, don't believe them. These are all lies. These are labels that are placed on you. And because you believe them, you're going to grow up to believe that you aren't worthy, that you're not enough, that you're not meant to do this, or you're not this. Because from early on, we start believing the lies that other people put on us. We don't even have to do it on ourselves. They put it on us and we believe it, and we spent a lifetime believing those lies. And for those lies, we play really small. So I would tell that 16-year-old, tell better lies. Tell the lies that are so bold and so amazing that you can be anything and do everything, and you can glow it up. And if you want it, it's yours. Those are the lies that I want that 16-year-old girl to believe, not the you're not enough. Oh, you've got this, you've got to sacrifice. Listen, when I think about where I am today, I always think about, I have boys, so I don't have young women, but people ask me all the time, why do you care so much about waking up these sleeping beauties? How does that impact you? And I think because for my nieces, the young women in my life, I just don't want them to know the first word from me was compromise, because they saw their Auntie Mo compromise or Mick compromise. No, young women everywhere, our job is to understand that fulfillment is our right. And too many of us are navigating as contentment as being enough. Too many of us are thinking 8 boxes out of 10 is enough. It's not. You're allowed to. If you want to check the 10 boxes, go for it. That's what I'm saying. Like, do it. Go be amazing. Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's such good advice. And I mean, what a way to end this. Like, go be amazing. You can do it. Go be amazing. Like, how phenomenal is that?
Yeah. And that's all. You know what it takes, Rachel? It's just be you. Whoever you are, show up. Show up as you, fully you. Not the labels, not the person you've been told, not the roles that you are filling. Like, at your core. This is why I say, what is it that you want? What do you care about? Who are you? What do you believe in? And like, really tap into that and let everything else stem from that.
Yeah, I love that. Everyone needs to just take a beat there and really let that sink in, because that's phenomenal advice. And it's so true, though. So thank you so much, Monica, for being here. Plug yourself. Where can everyone find you? On socials, the website, the whole thing.
Okay, so I hang out on Instagram at BADE with Mick, BADE with Mick, MIC. And I'm also at MI Curtis on YouTube. So you can hear me ramble all the time if you want to, and subscribe to that. And at monicacurtis.com, monicacurtis.com, you can find all things there.
Thank you so much for being here. This was such a powerful episode and just so moving. And I know that so many women are going to get so much out of this. And I hope you're all listening and you really take in what Monica has said today, because it's been amazing.
You're so sweet, Rachel. And by the way, what you're doing is amazing. And you looking back and seeing how young you are and where you're starting and the belief that you have in this, it's so beautiful and so important. And I'm so proud of you. I don't know if someone's told you this today, but I'm so proud of you because you're standing in your own mess in many ways and figuring out yourself. And you are just evolving into this incredible woman who is doing all the things we're talking about. So you are that person. So, hey, kudos to you, girl.
Thank you. That is so sweet of you. And I really appreciate it. We're all doing the best we can here. And I think all the women in my life and all the women that I'm meeting through this they're phenomenal beings. And I'm just so excited for what the future holds for having women like this in the world. It's going to be really great to see. 1,000%. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk next week.